Hey everybody, today's video is going to be about the Constitution, and because most people are familiar with the US Constitution, that's the example I'm going to be using today. And also just simply for more easier understanding. So let's go ahead and dive right into it, shall we? Pull it up here. As you can see, I'm getting this directly from the whitehouse.gov website on the U.S. Constitution. And what we have here is the preamble of the Constitution. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and to secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. So let's really digest what this is saying here. It's saying there's one group of people, the people of the United States, are doing something for another group, and as you can see here at the bottom of, for the United States of America. So this is one group doing something completely for another group, which means they are in the superior position. Otherwise, why would they be doing something for another group? But anyway, then let's continue to take a look here. And it says that they are doing these things for themselves and their posterity. And yeah, I get that people think that posterity means the American people. You know, we the people. That, legally speaking, is not true at all. Nor is it morally saying that. It's saying that they do it for themselves, meaning those that pledge, that sign the document, and their posterity. Well, what is the posterity? Posterity is their children and grandchildren and so on. It's not for everybody else. And I'll be getting into that a little bit later. But it clearly shows that they are doing this for themselves and their family, not everybody else. And let's take a look at what was going on with society at that time. You can go on Google, go online, and look up, the real history, the foundations of the United States, how things came to be, what things actually transpired. And one of the things that shows is there was thousands of men that were approached to sign on to the Constitution, and they refused, which is another way of knowing that they didn't pledge for you or any of your posterity. They pledged to themselves. And anyway, so we got to ask ourselves, why, if people were provided this grand opportunity to be signatory to the Constitution and have the rights and freedoms and the immunity that came with it, why would they not do that? Well, the big reason why is because of the fact people were too afraid of the king. They viewed it as, by signing this document, it would be committing treason against the king, and they didn't want whatever punishment and the responsibility that came with it. Which, again, is another way to know that the Founding Fathers didn't do it for everybody. They did it for themselves and their posterity. But let's continue to go into this. And people say, well, that was back then. Things are different now. Blah, blah, blah. We have constitutional rights. Again, I'm looking at things strictly from a legal, lawful standpoint. And I would highly encourage people to go look up what contract law is. Contract law, well, yeah, go and do your own research. But let's take a look at some of the court rulings on the Constitution where when people have tried to claim constitutional rights, what the court says. So this right here, let me see if I can zoom in. I know there's a way to do this. Well, I'll do it this way. View, full screen. Okay, so as you can see here, this is a court case from back in 1854, known as the Palaford and Fay case. And this was a old taxation case where Mr. Palaford was trying to claim constitutional rights. And this is what the Supreme Court said on it back then. It says, "But indeed, no private person has a right to complain in suit of court on the grounds of the breach of the Constitution. The Constitution, it is true, is a compact, and he is not a party to it. The states are parties to it, and they may complain." If you notice, it says individuals, people, are not a party to the Constitution. The states are. And of course, I know a lot of people will try to argue, well, the states are sovereign above the government. No, they're not. The states are not sovereign above the government. The government is sovereign above the states because they are part of the United States. And in order for them to become part, they had to sign on to it, which means they gave up their sovereignty to the United States. So, I understand this is going to be a very controversial video. And to those people that say I'm wrong or whatever, I say this: prove me wrong. Prove the court decisions wrong. In fact, not only do I want people to prove me wrong, I'll offer a reward. And I'm not talking about just using some opinion or some article. I'm talking about show me an actual law. Show me anywhere where the Constitution applies to the citizens. I get, yeah, there's some court cases that say, you know, oh, this person's constitutional rights were violated. I get there's different court cases like that. But again, I'm looking at what the U.S. Supreme Court says and also what contract law says. And as somebody who's involved with international law and politics, I can tell you, and don't just take my word for it, go look it up, go research it. When there's a dispute, they go with the older, easier to understand definition of something or translation. And so I challenge people to prove what I say about the Constitution. Prove to me that it does apply to you. And that you exercise your constitutional rights. Prove me that and I will pay $25,000 if somebody can prove me wrong and that the Constitution does apply to people. Because there's tons of evidence that says it doesn't. But I'm not going to take just somebody's opinion or some article where people are talking about it and saying, oh, well, it has to be this way because it says we the people and then it's, you know, that's for everybody. No. It says we the people, yes, and then it is signed by we the people. So unless your signature's on that Constitution or one of your family members' signatures, it doesn't apply to you, as you can see from this court case here. Anyway, my name is Taz Wright. And this video is done with, or for, Keys to Freedom. If you would like to find out more information, please check out keystofreedom.org, where we dive into this kind of stuff. We teach what's going on, what's not. And yeah, we do charge a membership fee. Because people that get stuff for free don't generally respect it. It's a universal principle. We're not going to put out our time, our hard work, our efforts for nothing. Granted, yes, a lot of this information is wildly available out there online. All we have done is compress the time frame and combine the resources together for people to be able to learn themselves, where we can, heaven forbid, teach something new. Teach people about the right of self-determination. Teach people how to be free and independent and not be a government slave. Not be a citizen owned by the government, which that's a topic for another video. Anyway, this is Taz Wright, keystofreedom.org. If I can get this to pull up. Have a good day.